Hi everyone, so this is your video that's going to explain to you the museum project assignment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move my face over here. I am going to open up our shell. I am going to navigate to the museum project visit. This museum project assignment section is already made available to you. Before we jump into the actual project requirements, I do want to go over a few things just for your information. Number one, this project is going to have you visit an established art museum. I highly encourage you to do so because if you've never gone, it is an experience that everybody should experience at least once in their life. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to get yourself to an established art museum. If that's not a viable option because of monetary constraints, please know that the local museums such as New Britain Museum of American Art, located in New Britain, the Yale Art Gallery, located in New Haven, the Wadsworth Atheneum, which is located in Hartford, the Hillstead Museum, which is located in Farmington, and then there's also the Florence Griswold Museum that's located in no, I'm not sure where it's located. It's down by the shore, though. Those local museums offer free admission days for students that have a valid ID. So you'd have to look on their website. And I also believe that there are a couple of other museums local to Connecticut that I'm not mentioning because I can't remember off the top of my head. A lot of museums will offer free admission to students. If you have the ability to go to New York and you can go to the Museum of Modern Art, I know that in the Chelsea Museum, and there's a couple of other museums in New York, they also offer free admission for students with a valid ID. However, the caveat to that is that if you have to go during an allotted time, and that information you'll find on their website. So you want to make sure that whatever museum you're choosing, see if they have a free admission day so that you don't have to pay if that is a concern for you. Or even if it's not, if you can save money because you're a student, you might as well, right? Another, for your information, in case you don't know, the Tungus Library has passes for local museums. I know that they have it for New Britain. I also know that it's for the Wadsworth. I believe that they have passes for Yale and for the Hillstead. I'm not sure about the Florence Griswold Museum. But you also want to check them out as well because, again, if you're not able to visit one of these museums during the allotted student admission day time, because I think the New Britain Museum of American Art, I think their allotted time is Saturday mornings. If that's not a viable option for you, check out the Tungus Library. You might be able to rent the pass or check out the pass, and then you're able to go whenever you're able to go. So that's another viable option. If getting yourself to a museum is just an established on-campus museum is just not in the cards for you, the other option is you can do this assignment virtually. Because of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of things were awful during that time and kind of fell apart. But one thing that really was able to flourish during that time was museums and museum websites. So a lot of museum websites really got an overhaul and were really much more interactive and engaging because they wanted people to visit their sites while everybody was kind of locked up and at home. So if you're not able to get yourself to an established art museum like in real time, you can do it virtually if that's the only option for you, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to move myself over here. Let's jump into the museum visit rubric. So what I'm going to have you do is you're going to get to this established art museum. Here is what your paper, and that's what you're going to be doing, is you're going to be writing a paper. Here's what your paper is going to be asking you to do. So you're going to select an established art museum, either online or in person. You're going to browse the collections and exhibitions that are presented. You're going to select 2 works of art that grab your attention. They can be 2 that you like or 2 that you don't like. Oftentimes, if you choose one of each, you have a little bit more to talk about. So it's up to you, or you can grab 2 that you like. That's fine as well. Make sure that you have an image of both works of art along with the artist's information, like name of artist, name of work, time period, and statement if it's available. And you want to have that work cited, that information cited in your paper using proper APA citations. This paper is going to be mainly your opinion. However, you want to make sure that you're citing the artists properly when you are referencing them and talking about them. This let me see right here, the image in the information right here, you can find that oftentimes right next to the work of art. So if you've never been to a museum before, you're going to see a work of art hanging up. Or if it's a 3-dimensional work of art, you'll see the 3-dimensional work of art being displayed, and there's always going to be some sort of a card, an information card that tells you the artist's information, the name, time period, what the work is made out of, and oftentimes it will be accompanied by a statement by the artist themselves. I want to make sure that I say this. Please don't reiterate what the artist statement says. Please get your own first interpretations of the work before you're looking at that artist statement, because oftentimes you'll find that they're just a little bit different. What you're seeing and what you're interpreting and what you're judging is a little bit different than often what the artist intended it to be, and that's wonderful. That's perfectly fine. That's going to add a depth and a robustness to your museum project that you otherwise wouldn't have if you just pulled the artist statement and then went off of that. So please make sure that you are not being persuaded by any means by what the artist statement is when you initially read it. So before you read their statement, you're going to analyze it by breaking down the elements and principles like we've been doing in class that are found in the artwork. How did these artists use elements, and do you think they used them effectively or ineffectively? Please explain your opinion by giving specific examples. This is, again, what we've done in class together. If you see a drawing and you think, wow, this could have been so much better as a painting, explain to me why. If you see a print that maybe is a woodblock print and it's just 2 contrasting colors and that's it, maybe in your head you're thinking this would have been more effective if they decided to draw this out instead of using the woodblock print. So keep that in mind. Tell me what media the artist used and did they do so effectively. Please explain your opinion by giving specific examples. Tell me what the artwork is about and the artist's intention. If the intention is unknown, and that's also common, so in that artist statement that you will see next to the work of art, sometimes they'll directly speak to the work of art that's being displayed, and sometimes they won't. They'll just give a brief summary of what their overarching goal is in creating art, and they won't talk about the piece at all. So if there is, if the intention is unknown, infer what you think the intention is by grounding yourself in the elements and principles of art that are present in the artwork. So again, we've done this in class. Think back to the works of art that were like, what's going on here? What do I actually see? What are the facts that I can actually see in this work of art? And then make your inferences and your judgments from what you see based upon your own experiences. Tell me if you like or if you don't like the artwork and explain why. Often what people will do too is they'll see a work of art and they will love it, and then they'll read the intention behind it, and then that turns them off. If that happens, please make sure that you are referencing that. Tell me what it is. Why was your mind changed? Why did your opinion change? Finally, you're going to look at the 2 works of art that you chose together as a pair. Find common threads between the 2. Tell me why you chose these 2 works of art. Responses should be approximately 5 pages, double spaced in size 12 font in a Word document or a Google Doc. Please let me know if you have any questions. A lot of times, one of the most common questions are with this project is that, why I don't know what to say or I have too much to say. If you need to, take one bullet at a time and speak to that bullet in this rubric. This rubric is here to help you. It's not just suggestions. This is exactly what I want to see in your paper, okay? So please make sure that you are speaking to these bullets. If you want to provide additional information that you think is going to help your paper and help me understand your perspective, please absolutely include it, but definitely use these bullets to your advantage, okay? The way I'm going to grade you is right up here. There's only 3 sections. I'm going to grade you on the depth and relevancy and reflection of the ideas and opinions. I'm going to grade you on the clarity of your ideas and the organizations of those ideas, and then the mechanics of writing. This is not an English class. This is an art appreciation class, and it's a lecture class. I am not going to harp on you for a missed comma here or I don't know, small little things. But if you are not capitalizing your letters at the beginning of sentences, that's going to be a problem. If you're using acronyms like LOL, that's going to be a problem. Don't speak to me like we are in a conversation. I expect a formally written paper here, okay? Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. Whoops, this project, I'm sorry, I did not mean to, I always do that. Oh, that is not the correct date. This project is going to be due April 29th. I'm so sorry about that. I will fix that right after this video is completed. So this is going to be due Tuesday, April 29th. I will reiterate this in class next week on the 8th. So if you have any questions, please bring them to my attention then. And I look forward to everything that you bring to the table. I can't wait to read these papers.